Hello, Internet, and welcome to Survivors Complex. Thank you for joining us once again for this continuing adventure of the party of Gale Force. A couple of quick announcements before we jump right into the game. We have our giveaway still ongoing, and it will be until the 21st of the month, so make sure you keep getting those entries in. We have a lot of entries right now, and that keeps growing and growing. And if you want to stand a fighting chance to win a copy of Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, make sure that you keep entering. You can, even if you've already exhausted all of the subscribes and the follows and everything else, you can still enter daily by answering the question that we have on Gleam, recommending a game that you like to see us play. We've had a lot of really good entries so far, and I think we're already talking and planning to do some of those games here in the near future. And we'll have more announcements on those to follow. We had some great games over the last week. We had Wild Space last Monday. It was another exciting and humorous episode of that. That is up on YouTube right now. And of course, if you missed last week's Survivors Complex, you can see it again up on YouTube too. And then looking forward to the next week, we have Apocrypha on Monday and Tidefall returns on Thursday. So lots of really good stuff to look forward to. Otherwise, it's just sort of business as usual right now. I say it every week because we haven't had any new stuff come out yet, but we've got stuff in the works. Trust us. So I think that is it. I really am not used to getting my announcements done like the first 3 minutes. So is there anything else? Anybody just want to talk about themselves? Anything new? No?
Stream Elements updated their extension that we
Sure,
use
we can talk
on
about
our
that.
page. So we have a fancy new Stream Elements panel that you can check out. If you're watching this live on Twitch, down below our faces, it's one of the first panels that we have. You can see the top cheers, the top people that have XP, top XPers. I don't know. You can also access the store through there. It's super cool. Check it out. And there's a lot of like fun, new, fancy stuff for you to mess around with. So thanks, Stream Elements, for making a sweet panel.
Yeah, check all that out. And if you're not watching it live, you're watching this on YouTube, check out any of our live shows and you can see all that happen. We've also, I forgot to mention, we've done some video game streaming in the last week too. Missed any of that. Those will be up. I think those are still up on Twitch right now. You can check those out. And I think we'll be doing some, I think the plan is to do some more zombies tonight. So stick around after the game for some more 7 Days to Die. All right, I'll just go ahead and do a recap and then we will get started. So, crinkly snacks. So last time on Survivors Complex, our group had just completed the trials of the Carnival of the Bear King, earning the favor of King Misakamen himself, or otherwise known as the Bear King or Old Honeypaws, and had sought an audience with this king in order to sort of bring him into their plans to usurp the Queens of Night and Magic and the Queens, or the Queen of Witches within the Twilight Realms, so that they could make their escape back home and save their friends and all that good stuff. You speaking with the Bear King, he seemed amenable to your plans. He himself holding a position of neutrality within this political climate, offered to help you and to assist you if you would do him a favor in return, that you would have to prove yourselves capable and worthy of his allegiance by dealing with a thorn in his side, this knight or representative of the Queen of Night and Magic, who came monthly to demand his loyalty and burning a section of his stock, of his crops. You agreed to do so and engage this ne'er-do-well in battle this entity, Crimson Rider, known as Red Sun. You fought and were able to defeat or fend off this figure using your strength, and then a clever use of an item by Tova, creating a sort of truce between your two sides and sending Red Sun and his cohorts back to meet their lady, and presumably not to return. You return to the Bear King, speaking to him once again. He seemed to be in good spirits and offered you a few seeds of wisdom. He told you that to accomplish your goals that you would need to obtain these cold wrought iron weapons, or the secrets of making them. You would have to seek out the knowledge of the master smiths that were killed or imprisoned so long ago in order to gain their knowledge, so that you could locate the forge that they once used to create these weapons. He also told you of a network of mines that were used to mine the frost iron ore used to create these weapons. And lastly, he told you you'd need a force to wield them, and that he, along with his soldiers, would aid you in battle, but you would also likely need the support of either the Wild Hunt or the Lord of the Rivers. You decided that the first step that you would take would be to seek out the knowledge of these master smiths, and to do so, you would set foot into the mires, the Echo Mires, a site of an ancient battle where the rebels who had created these cold wrought iron weapons were laid to rest. And so, as we ended our last session, saying some goodbyes to friends and, in some cases, family, you all gathered yourselves, your newfound treasures, and your new wagon, and made your way out of Bjornheim and began traveling the equivalent of westward towards the Echo Mires. And that's where we pick up our session here today, with your crew atop this wagon that is trundling westward through the forests. Just upon having left Bjornheim, the two draft horses pulling the cart along as you ride on top. So, anything you guys wish to do while you are traveling? Okay. I'll take that as a no.
Sit in awkward silence.
The entire time. No, I'll make the assumption that you guys chat and you rest a bit. And who's driving the wagon?
I'm driving.
Okay. I mean, I'm not really going to ask you. Do you have a proficiency in vehicles or anything?
I do, with land vehicles.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you
animal handling.
I was about to say that I'm not gonna make you roll for it, or really, I'm not gonna require proficiency with it, because I think using a vehicle is simple enough. But you are proficient in it. You are practiced in guiding horses, especially through this rough terrain. So I think you're probably able to cut down on any sort of obstacles that you would face during this travel significantly. If any normal person was trying to guide this forward, you'd probably end up having to stop and back yourselves out of some awkward tight spots you try to make your way through a couple of times. But I'd say with your proficiency, you're doing pretty well. So you travel for the next few hours outside of Bjornheim towards the Starlight Mountains beyond. After an hour and a half or so of travel, you reach a river that stakes north to south, and you kind of it's a little deep to cross, so you make your way north a bit, following the curvature of the river, trying to find a bridge of some sort or a path that you might follow to get across, or a shallows. As you do find a place to cross, say in the distance, you begin to hear sounds like singing. Just this faint bit of music traveling down the river, or in the direction that the river is flowing.
Not again. Why does this keep happening?
I can't remember. Is the river flowing towards the sea?
Yeah, the river's flowing north.
Okay. Yeah. Get it.
Or with the equivalent of north.
Yeah.
As the orientation of our map. Yeah. You don't have to head that direction. You can cross the river and continue on your travel, or you can make your way down the river and see what you find. That's up to you.
Does the song or the singing sound familiar?
It doesn't sound like a melody you recognize, no.
Okay.
I'd say the faint bit that you're hearing. It's not the song that you've been kidnapped to multiple times.
That's really the question I was asking.
That's what I figured.
Is it the kidnapping song?
No, it's not the kidnapping song.
Well, should we keep going?
It's probably safest if we just keep going.
We have no idea what or who could be watching us out here. If we just keep on the path for now.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out though, just in case.
Okay. So you guys avoid the whatever might be causing the are you trying to see whatever it is, or is anybody trying to get an eye on whatever might be causing that?
I'll try.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to see what I can see. I'm not like leaving the wagon though.
Nobody leaving the wagon. Okay. All right. Make a perception check.
$25.
Nice.
23.
Yeah.
Also nice. Okay. So I think as the cart's running along, Tova, you're focused on driving the cart forward, not really paying attention, just trying to avoid whatever that mess might be.
Basically.
Star and Den, maybe the two of you stand up in the wagon a bit and kind of try to get a look. And I think the two of you see just beyond the narrowing of the river ahead, and there's some underbrush and a couple of trees kind of creating a little bit of obscurity there. But through the brush and the tangled of branches and greenery, I think you do see a bit of movement. You see something lithe and pale that is in the water. Just beyond that, you hear a little bit of splashing along, as somebody or something is moving in the water. And you catch just I think the faint glistening of a light kind of golden or blonde hair there as well.
Does it sound like just one person is singing?
Yeah, it just sounds like one person.
What if it's a mermaid? Star, what if it's a mermaid?
It could be a mermaid. Do you want to go see if it's a mermaid?
Yes, but also no.
We fought a kraken. A mermaid can't do us much harm.
You You think that? You haven't met a mermaid?
Have you?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't know, last time I went to see if there were fairies, Lil got turned into a toad.
That's true. I mean, maybe we could get a little bit closer? I mean, I've never seen a mermaid.
Okay. Is that all? What do you think? If this is a bad idea, someone needs to tell us it's a bad idea.
I feel like this might be a bad idea.
At this point, dude, just say we have vote him and go anyway.
Raise your hand if you want to see if it's a mermaid.
Can't decide.
That's 3. Let's just get like just a little bit closer.
Alright, I'll get a bit closer.
Have to know.
Gonna
This is mermaid
slowly
me
steer the
curious.
cart over there.
Okay, you're steering the whole cart over there.
I guess. I mean,
or you guys can stop the cart and walk over. I mean, you're about probably 50 or 60 feet away from wherever this person.
is there like a good tree somewhere I can hook up
Sure.
the
There are lots of good trees.
Alright.
Lots of very large trees. You hook it onto the smaller, like to maybe a small like branch or some sort of protrusion from the bottom of the tree, and you tie the horses onto it. And you all make your way over to. Are you sneaking, or you just trounce it over? I'm gonna take that as you're not sneaking. So as you guys walk over to this glen, kind of obscured here, you kind of push your way through the branches, and you see in the water, or half submerged in the water, you see an elven woman. Very pale skin, long sort of golden hair. She is very minimally dressed, wearing just sort of say like white silks that are mostly soaking wet.
Don't be weird, Dylan. She's swimming.
And she is sort of in the water and sort of bends down to pick up some shells out of the water and kind of gliding her way through, humming this song as she's very gracefully making her way around the banks of this stream or this river.
Does she have a tail though?
She does not have a tail. She looks like she has legs, though you can't really see her legs because they're mostly submerged in the water, but you can see them, or that she is walking.
Boring. Does she see us?
I think she looks up at you all as you're kind of staring through, and she gives a wide and warm smile at the 4 of you, or as the 5 of you, because Lucius is still with you, as you are all kind of standing there, and she, I think she calls out and says, "Hello. Who are you?"
Travelers, we heard your wonderful singing and got curious.
Oh, well, you're. She kind of looks around nervously, like she's alone here, and there's now a group of people kind of coming up on her, and she says, "Do you have any business with me, or?"
No, sorry for bothering you. We can we can leave.
Sorry, we're not from here. I thought maybe you were a mermaid.
She laughs and sort of shakes her head. She says, "No, I don't believe so. Not the last time I checked." And she sort of like kicks a leg off to the side. And she says, "I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. You're welcome to use the river if you wish. I'm just passing the time."
Looking around, do I see like anything like any other people or any like she's just here in the river? There's like no stuff around or like what's like a camp? I mean, do I see anything like that?
No. You just kind of search around the area. You look. Actually, go to make a perception check.
Okay. Uh, 23.
23. Okay. You don't see any signs of a camp or anything here. You actually don't see any tracks or footprints or anything leading up to or away from the river. And she's sort of making her way up and seeming a little bit less intimidated by the group and a little bit less turned off. Is sort of kind of moves up a little bit closer to get a better look at you kind of along the bank of the river. And I think as she gets closer, I mean, as you're all looking, she is very beautiful, unnaturally beautiful. Actually, I need everyone to make a charisma saving throw as she gets within about 30 feet.
Oh.
Do I have a question?
Yes.
Do we still get the benefits from
Lilibet's aura protection because she's in toad form? No, I don't think you get that benefit in toad form.
Okay. She's
Okay,
not
3.
a really holy toad.
No, she's not a very holy toad. We'll see.
Oh.
Maybe she'll just manifest it at one point when you guys really need it. But
Well, 12.
Does my fate ancestry affect this saving throw at all?
yes.
Would I get
Yes, it does.
advantage?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
It is a charm effect.
14.
Oh. Through Vinsar, I am immune to charm effects.
Okay.
So do I roll for that?
No, you're just immune because
Okay.
everyone else failed.
No. I don't feel so bad about rolling a 3.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Because suddenly everyone except Tova, you look at this woman before you, and she is gorgeous, and you are suddenly and undeniably sure that she is the love of your life, and you have a compulsion to move towards her. Like you find your feet moving, your legs like slack jawed, moving towards the river and towards her. And Tova, you sort of watch as all of your companions are just like absent-mindedly beginning to walk towards this woman who's kind of half smiling as they approach.
Everybody, I think we should leave this woman be. Guys?
Just a minute. I'll be right there soon.
I elbow Star out of the way and get in front of him.
As you're approaching, and she says, "Now that's not necessary. No need to fight." As you're kind of all making your way towards the river.
Come on, guys. Like, no. Excuse us, ma'am. And I like try to grab who's ever closest to me, and kind of like try to.
Okay.
Come on.
Try to pull them
go.
away.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, those two. So it's probably Sadell. Probably. I'm like, hey, let's go.
All right. So you begin to pull. I mean, which one of them?
I'm assuming it's Saddle because those
Okay.
two are like duking it out at the front.
Yeah, they're beginning to like rub shoulders and go like shove each other out of the way, and you grab Saddle and begin to pull him away. Saddle, you feel Tova sort of pulling you away from this woman before you, and you see that your companions now making a move on your lady. What would you like to do?
I try and break free from the hole. Like, I gotta go do my thing.
Okay. Go ahead and go ahead and make a strength check. I guess a contested strength check between the two of you.
All right.
Save me, Tova. 15.
Strength check or save?
I'd say strength athletics is appropriate if you're
okay.
Your athletics.
15?
Oh my god.
Okay, so.
Oh wait, that's even.
Yeah. So Sadel, I think to the runner goes the tie. So I think Sadel is is able to break out of your hold there, and begins to make his way towards the river with the rest. And as you guys all get within about 5 feet of her, I mean, you don't have to just like run into her like a Roomba or something. I mean, you once you get within 5 feet, like you are now sufficiently close, and you just don't want to leave her side anymore. And then you're looking at your companions. You're like a little pissed off that they're there too. She says, "You can all sit down if you like, and stay here for as long as you wish."
I sit.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Tova, with your perception check, you also notice as they go and they make their way towards the bank of the river and sit down. You notice that as Den sits at the edge of the bank, a little bit of the mud kind of kicks up around her. She's wearing heavier plate, and you see something sort of protrude out from the mud, and you see the gleam of like the white gleam of a bone kind of sticking out from the mud.
Oh no.
As they all sit down, then she sort of looks over towards you and she says, she kind of, again, with that half smile, and there's a little more like malice behind it, and looking at you, and you're unaffected. She just says, "You're free to leave if you'd like."
I'm not leaving without my friends.
She looks around at them and says, "I think they want to stay here."
Okay, I'm going to walk up over closer to everybody, and that was gonna work. I'm gonna pull out my little panpipes, and I'm gonna blow real hard, and I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave.
Oh shit! On
everybody. Maybe it'll snap them out of whatever is happening.
Okay.
So you gotta make a saving throw. Everyone has to make a strength save.
Okay. Everyone go ahead and make a strength saving throw.
Nat 20 for a 21.
Oh no.
6.
15.
Okay.
I rolled like shit.
Okay, Star made it. So you don't get pushed over, but everyone takes 12 points of damage as I like blow into these panpipes and make it really loud.
Oh, I guess she has to make it too.
Yeah, she's gonna make it too. It's everybody in a radius out from me.
Let's see.
And I only take half damage because I succeeded.
Yes.
Yeah, and you don't get pushed over. Everybody else gets knocked down, I guess.
Knocked into the mud.
Like a face full of mud.
Strength saving throw. Not her best. Oh. Well, she succeeds.
Oh, well then.
Yeah, surprisingly so. She gets knocked, kind of like, not knocked back, but like knocked into the water, kind of staggers a bit, the water sloshing around, and she lets out sort of a sneer in your direction, sort of hisses a bit towards you. Den and Saddle are kind of like knocked and skid across the mud away from you. Star, you're able to avoid it, and you begin to sort of ready yourself there and not having taken as much damage. Yeah, I'll give everybody another Christmas save on that.
See if that knocks any sense in anybody?
21.
16?
So Den succeeds.
Yes.
The other two fail again.
Uh-oh.
As Den, you get the face full of mud, and you pull your head out of it, and you see in the banks of this river, and you hit something hard, and you see more bones sort of sticking out of the water a bit.
What was that, Tover? I'm distracted. Just go back to the wagon.
And as she stares, as she kind of hisses out, she says, "Stop her!" She yells to the two of you now.
Oh no.
I look at Tova and I go, clever girl. I just like full on like tackle Star.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first, Anna.
I think at this point we're probably gonna have to roll initiative.
All right.
We're never gonna get out of here. We're just gonna kill each other.
Battle Royale time, folks.
You guys remember that time a really long time ago when I was like, this is probably a bad idea?
Well,
It
A real long time ago. That was a minute ago.
It was like maybe 5 minutes ago.
I don't. Okay. No, this music's too dramatic. That's not what I want. Wait a second.
I rolled a natural 20.
So did I.
I also rolled a natural 20.
What?
What?
Because they're all.
So we all go first, right? That's how it works. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Very close to me.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, Morgan.
That's
Okay.
amazing.
And then I'll roll for.
What if she also rolls a natural 20?
That would be really funny.
Because we rolled
You get a natural
4.
20.
No,
you
she
get a
rolled
natural 20.
2. Makes it a 7.
20s.
Damn. Okay. Well,
Oh boy. This is a close call.
It's our favorite song!
Sato, you're first. Or
Cool.
wait, who has a better dexterity? Okay, hold on.
We're both the
You're
same.
both the same, and then Star, you're faster.
So Star should go first.
So Star gets to go first. Now, I will bear in mind, you're charmed by her. You want to do what she says. You don't necessarily want to kill your friends.
Yeah.
Except I legit just tackled you.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can fight each other.
Which I guess has happened before.
I'm not gonna. I mean, you guys can kill each other if you want to stop you, but you don't have to.
I have a ton of illusion spells though, which are great. So Den just tackled me. I'm gonna try cast Charm Person on Den.
Oh no.
Okay. What's the saving throw on that?
That is
It's wisdom.
saving throw.
It's gonna be funny if she fails.
It's gonna be hilarious if I fail. 19.
You succeed.
Yay.
So you mutter an incantation towards Den. Den, you're getting off the ground. You just wipe all the mud off, kind of leaving a big like swath of blue through the brown that's covering your face. And you hear something starts muttering towards you, but he's still mudding your ears a bit, and it doesn't seem to have.
Can I tell what he tried to do?
Yeah, I mean, you get the feeling he's trying to cast the spell.
I just look at him and I go, "Oh, please."
Anything else, Star?
No, that'll be it for now.
Okay. Sato.
What's happening?
You're muted.
How close is everyone together?
I'd say, well, Sato and Star and Den are pretty close together, and yeah, you guys are all pretty clumped up at this point because you've had to get pretty close to Tova to cast Thunderwave too. So yeah, they're all within 5 or 10 feet of each other.
Okay. Let's make this interesting. I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself.
Okay, and Sato mutters a few words to himself and suddenly vanishes from sight. Anything else?
And I'm gonna move around a bit. I'm gonna see if I can get a good angle.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a... let's see. Just go to make me a stealth check with advantage. I'll consider that kind of into the visibility here.
23.
23. Okay. I think that pretty much passes anybody's passive perception at this point. So nobody knows where Sadel is unless they may do an active perception check right now. So anyway, Sadel, you vanish from sight. Toba, it is your turn. I also forgot that. Well, I forgot Lucius is with you.
Oh yeah.
He indeed are staying at
We
the
left
car.
him at the wagon.
I'm going to say he's sleeping in the wagon right now.
I also want to say that Deedar, we probably left him with the wagon as well.
Yeah. What about Gil?
He's in charge of the wagon.
He's in charge of the wagon.
Okay.
For sure.
Cool. We're good.
He's probably
All right.
smoking his little pipe.
Just want to explain where everybody is right
Yeah.
now. All right. So,
And,
To-
we got Totobet.
and
Probably left her at the wagon. too.
Yeah, okay, they're all at the
everybody's
wagon.
at the wagon. That's fine otherwise. Okay, Tova, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna get a good look at the lady. And I'm going to intuitive sight her. So it means I'm gonna do that. There you go. So I'm using my action, and she has to make a deception check against my insight.
Okay. And then you have +5 in your AC against an advantage save. Okay, so yeah. Go ahead and make your insight
you're
check.
I'm gonna roll the battle one.
I forgot to grab my dice, so I'm just going to roll this.
Well, it's a 13. That was terrible.
Okay, well, she rolled higher than that, so...
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you kind of
Read on this lady.
get you really spend a few seconds just trying to focus on her and get an idea of what's going on here, and she's just standing there with the kind of a slight smile on her face, and her hands are together, and she's sort of clapping as she's watching all of this happen. Yeah, she does not. It's hard to get a read on her and her intent. All right. Anything as your bonus action or anything else? You're muted.
Sorry. I'm gonna disengage as my bonus action away from her.
Okay.
And because I can do that now.
All right.
And I'm gonna go over there by Star and Den because I have no idea where Sato went. And maybe help her grab him.
All right.
And that's it.
Okay. That'll put it to Den's turn then.
Okay, the only connection Den is making right now is that she got, like, knocked in the face by a big wave of thunder, and the charm went away. So I'm gonna grab Star and just cold cock him. Just, like, right in the jaw. Right in his fuzzy little jaw.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Is this with my... Am I proficient in punching cats?
You're proficient in unarmed strike, so yeah.
Really?
Everyone is, yeah.
Really?
Yep. Everyone is proficient in unarmed strikes.
Oh.
In 5th edition.
That's a rule I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's with strength, right?
Yeah.
21.
That just hits.
And then it's 1 plus your strength.
6. My strength is a 5.
Oh shit!
Uncanny dodge.
Okay, you take 6 points, but you're able to duck out of the way just enough. She grazes you as she's trying to kind of cold cock you. So she gets you in the chin, but you're able to avoid or kind of absorb most of the blow by turning your head and kind of spinning to the side. It does hurt a pretty good amount though for a punch. So Den, use your action to one wild haymaker.
Does he look any different?
No. Doesn't seem to be any different effect at this point. The Thunderwave was a little bit of a special circumstance.
But does Den know that?
Den might not.
I guess that's my action, right?
Okay.
I don't want to stab him or anything. I'm just going to...
Just hit me in the face with a tabaxi flail. I'm sure that won't have any repercussions later on.
That seems like a good thing.
We haven't tried it on Tabaxi yet. Maybe we just instills
I
them.
was gonna do a spiritual... I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
I just look at Tova and go, grab him!
All right. Let's see. All right. So that'll put it to her turn, and I think she is going to. As she's sort of laughing and clapping along to all of this, I think she also begins to mutter something under her breath and begins to mutter an incantation. And she... Yeah, I think she begins to sort of dissolve away, and you watch as her form begins to turn into this vapor, and this last thing you kind of see is her white smile as she just turns into this cloud of vapor that just seems to hang over the river and begin to glide a little bit away. That is the end of her turn, though. Star, back to you.
I don't want Den to be able to grab me, so I cast invisibility on myself.
All right. So you also cast invisibility on yourself. For the hell of it, I'm going to have you make a stealth check with advantage upon your casting of it, but I was...
31.
I don't know where the hell he went. And suddenly, both the woman and Sadel and Star are just gone.
I am never traveling anywhere with men ever again.
Because...
What the hell?
That would put it to Sadel's turn, I think.
I guess, Oh no, and she told us to stop them, or... What were her exact words?
She told you to stop them, I think was the... were the words used.
Alright, and Tova and Dan are like right next to each other trying to get Star.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm gonna blast wave him, trying to keep him away from Star.
Oh, shit. I think suddenly from behind, you guys all hear this click noise coming from a direction you're not suspecting, and suddenly, boosh, there is an explosion of thunder, and they have to make strength. You guys make strength saving throws.
Strength saves.
$27.
Yeah,
21.
you're good. You're golden.
All
so
right.
nothing happens.
Well, I think, don't they take half? Do they not take half damage on success?
They take half damage. They might take half damage, but I will double check real quick.
Yeah, double check that. But there's an explosion of thunder. Sadel appears at that moment after firing the weapon, and all the mud and everything on the ground is just flung up into the air away. I'm actually gonna just roll a d4 for me.
Oh no. But no, they're good.
Okay.
3?
3. Okay. I was putting the number at 1 because I was gonna say this is gonna cover a quarter of the surrounding area in like a pie chart. So I'm gonna say that's enough. The mud is kicked up and so splattered away, but you are not just Looney Tunes just covered in it at that point. All right. That will. So did you say it does half damage or does it do?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. So no damage. All right.
No damage, and they don't get pushed back.
All right. So the two of you avoid it entirely. Topa, it is your turn.
Thanks, Adele. What the cuss? I'm gonna word of peace him.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna speak a calming word, and you have to make a wisdom saving throw, or then you become charmed by me.
Okay. You do have advantage on this because it is a charm effect.
15.
My DC is 15.
Again, that's the second time it's been 15 to 15
Oh my goodness.
against Sadel. So you are able to avoid it. All right.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna bonus action. Getting an idea from the mud. I'm going to sort of like kick out with my leg and try to like splash up a bunch of mud and maybe discover wherever Star is.
Okay. All right. I'll allow it. So I say you have to spend a key point for it because it's considered a flurry of muddy blows. So
Sort of like
I'm trying to decide the best way to do this if you're doing it randomly. So I'm going to say you're probably not doing it the way that the mud just went. So we're just going to put this at the 1 in 3 chance at this point.
Okay.
So if you can on roll 20, just do a 1d3, and Star, we're just going to still put you on the 1.
Okay.
I love roll 20 because we can do 1d3s and I don't do math.
3.
3. Okay. You kick at the ground and splat it one direction. It doesn't go. It doesn't seem to cover anything. Okay. Dan, it is your turn.
I can see Sadel, right?
You can.
Tackle.
Okay. Go running at him and leaping through the air. Go ahead and make a athletics check, and Sally, you can do an athletics or.
I try to do like a high tackle or like a regulation tackle so I don't hit his knee.
Okay. Fair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As the Fey referee comes out of the.
Like,
No chop blocks. You said I could do acrobatics or athletics?
Yes.
oh.
I assume you're going to do athletics.
What you got, buddy?
22.
23!
Oh,
crap.
man.
Okay. And Saddle, you your leg is feeling much better now than it has in the past, given your current location in your home turf. You try to kind of juke off to one side and avoid Den, but she just comes lunging at you, and you just move a half second too slow, and boom! You hit him, and you're going to the ground with him.
Yeah, I don't want him to go anywhere.
All right.
And if he turns invisible, guess where he is?
Takes you to the ground. You both go slamming into the mud once again.
I'm sorry.
And I think
that's my action.
That's your action, yeah.
And then I go, star shining between the storm clouds. Get over here!
All right.
And I just hold Sadell in the mud.
As you're holding him in the mud, I think you all hear that sort of ethereal laughing through the air, and there's that chuckling and the voice sort of almost omnipresent now, but originating from the river, emanates towards all of you, and she says, "This has been more than enough fun, I suppose. You've all given me enough entertainment. I'll be moving on now." And there's this kind of gust of wind. You watch the vapor in the air sort of begin to swirl and move away downriver. And at that moment, Sadell and Star, you kind of shake your heads a bit, and you're not quite sure why you just did any of that.
Ow.
Sorry. I'm sorry. You shot at us.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fair. What the hell was that?
Yeah. Star?
I deactivate my invisibility. I'm standing right behind Tova.
What the cuss?
I think we all need to have a talk right now. About how we're never gonna let women come in between us.
Yeah, we should probably avoid talking to random people like that.
Yeah,
We
I'm sort
should
of
avoid following strange singing in the future.
I'm sort of
Don't
remembering this time a very, very long time ago when Sadell said, "This is a terrible idea."
Yeah, well, we all make mistakes.
At least this mistake didn't end up with anyone's hands being crushed.
No, Sadell sort of needs a bath. I'll pick him up out of the mud.
There's a river right next to you.
Yeah, I'll just start washing myself off.
Okay. I need you to make... I'm just kidding.
It's the river.
Yeah, you're able to wash yourself off. I think as you guys are sort of calming down and washing yourselves off a bit, there's suddenly kind of a burst through the tree line, and you see a sprite, a tiefling, and a plesiosaurus come emerging through the underbrush, all battle ready. And Gil just sort of looks around. He's got a bow. It's like a tiny little bow out, and sort of looking around like,
It's alright, we killed it. Sadell did. Shot it in the face.
It was gross. She just floated down the river.
Yeah. Disgusting.
it just sort of looks around, and Didar.
I didn't think mermaids would have that many like weird needly teeth.
It was terrible. She had like 6 arms.
The three of them just look surprised and a little bit confused as they're walking, standing there, and they all just silently turn around and begin walking back the other direction towards the cart.
We will never speak of this.
Good idea.
Never
What?
again.
All right. You. Why is it not easy working?
I'm gonna poke around in the mud. Is there like a ton of bones there?
Yeah. So you go and you kick in the mud and you begin to pull out the bones that you saw. They're actually just animal bones. It looks like maybe a horse or something died here. As you begin to pull it out, you found like a horse skull and some ribs and just like the broken remnants of probably an animal that died some time ago.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I thought she was eating people.
I was very worried for a second there. I'm glad eventually y'all snapped out of it.
Snapped out of what? Nothing happened.
Side eye.
Anyway, this was a nice little break to see the sights, but we should carry on.
Yep.
All right. You all get back in the wagon and begin tallying forward, continuing towards the Myers. You can take a short rest. Those of you that are in the wagon. Well, I guess you're all in the wagon. So you guys can take a short rest as you're continuing your travels if you'd like. Those of you that need it. Eventually you do find a sort of like a roadway that seems to be cutting through the forest towards the mountains beyond. It's old. It doesn't look well maintained. Looks like something that was probably built and used some time ago, long time ago, but hasn't been traversed widely since. You see the remnants of bits of cobblestone with overrun by thick grass and moss and trees that have grown up through it. But you begin to follow this as you make your way to the west. Eventually, the mountains looming overhead become closer and closer, and the trees become a little bit spread out. The ground beneath you becomes softer. Everything begins to take on a slightly darker tone. The trees themselves, from the lush, sort of bright, vibrant viridescence, begin to fade a bit to a deep forest green, almost to a darker blackish color. Those are some good hit dice rolls still. As you continue on, though, there reaches a point where the trees are, you leave the forest behind you, the Feywilds, and reach the cusp of the edge of the Starlight Mountains. And before you, spanning a few dozen miles in either direction, north and south, you see a dark and dreary landscape. You see rolling hills cutting through a valley, specked with dark greens and blacks, browns. You see the marshlands before you, stretching in every direction, with bits of land kind of cutting through them in a zigzag maze-like pattern. You notice that there are bits of poles and the remnants of wagons and other bits and pieces kind of scattered throughout in your immediate vicinity, the site of an ancient and long forgotten battle. However, you are on the outskirts of it right now, catching just the smallest bits. Those of you with better vision, better perception can see further in, probably a mile, 2 miles inward within these rolling hills that obscure most of your vision. Throughout these marshlands, you can see the scattered remains of a war long fought. So, you have your wagon. You don't know how easy it is going to be to travel through here on the wagon. It is your choice whether you want to put your skills to the test, Tova, or if you want to hobble the horses here and continue it on foot.
When we got into this area, actually, did like the horses, did they seem to get like spooked or anything? Around here?
Yeah, I'll say probably around this point, as you're reaching the size, the horses reach a point where they kind of they begin to sort of balk a bit and begin to resist a bit of your urges to stir them forward.
Right. Well, I don't think these guys are going to go any farther unless we force them. Maybe we should leave them here for a minute.
We hopefully won't be too long.
Maybe we can leave Didar with them, actually.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
All right. I'm gonna. Never mind. Yeah, I'm gonna hop off. I was debating whether I should detach them from the wagon or not.
That's your call. You could.
Like kind of
the wagon might swords is a good anchor point for them if you put something underneath the wheels. There's a word for that. I don't remember what it is, but you can affix the wagon to its current position. Then they're sort of stuck to it.
Boot it.
Yeah, boot it. There we go. You can boot the wagon.
There you go.
Okay, so you leave Didar here as guard to guard the horses, and the rest of you carry inward. Or somebody carrying Todabet and.
I'll take Gil with me.
Okay.
Put Todabet on my shoulder.
If he wants to go. I don't.
Sure.
He's so little. I don't want to leave him.
Yeah, he'll go with you. Gil will perch himself up on your shoulder, keeping an eye out around as you head into the quiet of the marshlands.
You can hide in my braid.
He definitely can. Sort of clings in like towards your hair, and silently keeps an eye around. Looks maybe a little nervous, but not terribly so. As the sounds of the forest and the chirping of birds gives way to the kind of droning of bugs and insects and flies that are sort of moving throughout these fields of the dead in hordes. You see these sort of swarms of flies that cut off towards the sun. It is the brightness of the sky, the colorfulness of the world around you that you had been experiencing since leaving the Shadow Desolation fades here a bit. It doesn't quite go to the level of dreary and dark and gloom as it did there, but there is a mist that hangs through the air and a fog that keeps you and obscures a lot of vision, and color is sort of drained other than these deep dark colors and greens. There are pools of water as you're cutting through or walking on the solid land that seems to snake through here. The marshes and the swamp waters cut up almost to where you're walking, as you're on sort of a 15-foot, 20-foot path. The waters themselves are dark. You don't know if that's the color of the water itself or the silt underneath, and a lot of grass and plant life growing up and out of it, obscuring the motion of anything that might lurk within. There are a couple things you notice as you make your way into the into the Echo Mires. One is you begin to hear sounds coming from further in ahead of you, and you swear at certain points you hear the sounds of swords hitting steel, of cries of anguish and pain, of a war horn sounding. And as you approach where you think that sound is originating from, it seems to stop. It always seems just on the edge of your periphery, and you're never able to quite ascertain where this sound is coming from. You also notice every so often the glow of soft and white light kind of cutting through and circling around in areas. You see these small little orbs of light in the distance that will kind of bounce and spin and then zoom off into the darkness. I'd say it's probably easiest for I'd say that probably Den, with your knowledge of undead, or well, I was going to say knowledge.
Do I need to roll?
Well, I'll give
roll?
it to. You can, if you want to make a history check or just intelligence check. But I'll
They're
give it to
all the same.
Yeah, I'll give it to Star and Zadel with your knowledge of elves and the Fae. And Zadel with your history. You both have probably heard legends of will-o-wisps. Spirits like that. Den, what'd you roll?
0.
Yeah, got no idea what there are. There are some lights out there. Might be someone with a torch. But you are aware of those, and you see like groupings, clusters, 4 or 5 of those lights, kind of spinning and dancing in a very enticing and kind of hypnotic almost pattern out in the distance.
Should we be worried about those?
Keep an eye on them. They may try to entice us to follow them. Don't.
Got it.
We've had enough of that one day.
As you walk forward, Star and Den, your passive perceptions. You both notice as you're stepping forward, there is a 6th person among you that wasn't there before, or just a little bit ago. You see the dark shape of the vapor puppet. It wasn't there just a few seconds ago, standing behind Lucius.
Eyes wiggles.
Lucius or cocks his head towards you as you say that and turns around, and you see the vapor puppet move towards him. And Lucius begins to say, "I'm not the one to," and the vapor puppet envelops him, similar to how you've seen it done before. And you see this cloud of black smoke begin to wrap around him, and then you see another shape of another similar vapor puppet, another squiggles, begin to emerge from the ground and also join in, and then another one sort of joins in until there's this sort of mass of like black shadow around Lucius, and you hear some muffled words from within, for a second, as there seems to be a little bit of like thrashing. I don't know if anybody wants to do anything at that moment.
I don't think I have anything that could help that wouldn't just end up stabbing Lucius in the face.
I'm gonna rush over there and try to. Can I like grab him?
Okay.
At all?
You-
Like, try to reach
You
him out?
rush over and you jab your hands into this cloud of smoke in front of you, and the whipping of this wind that seems to be carrying them. As you jab your hands in, there's suddenly this like kind of implosion or explosion of the smoke as it disappears, and you go running right through the smoke, and Lucius is gone.
Are there any more of the shadowed vapor puppets around?
The smoke sort of vanishes and disappears.
So from now on, everyone has a buddy.
Where? I'm gonna use the bracelet and like, Lucius, what? Where are you?
Okay.
There's a boss.
You speak into the bracelet. No response.
I don't know, you guys, this is a little out of my wheelhouse.
For now, I say we just continue with what we came to do. After we've finished this job, we can start on trying to find Lucius or doing the next or something. But the more time we spend here, the more time that any of us could get taken.
And I think as Star is saying that, you also see as the waters around you begin to almost swell and bulge a bit. And you watch as the mud and the muck and the water itself sort of begins to whelm up in a wave, and almost like it is going to encompass and whelm over all of you. What do you do?
Yeah, keep moving.
Yep.
Okay. I need everyone to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh man. Oh no.
20 total.
16.
Okay. 16.
I'm going to use my helmet to automatically succeed.
Okay.
That's smart.
And
okay. I also got 20 total.
all right. So you're actually all able to avoid it then. As the waters themselves almost seem to reach out with this mud and muck and just the swamp and the mire itself, like two large hands almost protrude up and out and begin to slam down on the water, on the walkway you're walking on. You all leap out of the way and begin to sprint away. Den just barely keeping up, and then you feel like water and muck hit the back of your neck as it's kicked up from these two massive long hands kind of slamming onto the ground, sending a cascading a ripple of water and muck that seems to ripple and extend out from your current location.
Well, it would be really cool if we had like a flying carpet or something right now.
Wherever would you get one of those?
Just screen wiped immediately just where it's sitting on the ship, looking like an actual carpet.
Yeah, we get a cut to the ship, kind of all that's sideways, and you see Den's office and everything sort of piled up towards one side of the office and one side of her cabin, but just perfectly on the floor, still right where it was underneath one of the tables. You see the carpet just like glued there.
So we're like wading through a swamp right now.
No, you guys are
Or,
sticking
like,
to the.
It's not all like water though. There's like
Okay. I didn't necessarily want to invite this comparison, but it's sort of like Lord of the Rings. In I think it was I don't remember if it was Return of the King or Two Towers. When the marshes that they were walking through. Yeah, it's the second one.
Okay.
And like this maze of land kind of cutting around, and then there's water to the side of these walkways that you are making your way through.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys are pretty much staying dry unless you want to walk through the water. That is that's your call. I didn't think so. Okay.
Are those hands still following us, or did it sort of stop?
No, as soon as it hits, they sort of fade back to the water. The walkway is now gone that you were coming here through. So you're probably gonna have to find another way out. But it's not like that was the only path that you can see leading back to where you guys came from.
Probably keep moving.
Okay. So what are you guys looking for?
If it's been centuries, we probably want to immediately find a body just lying in the mud.
So you guys are looking for a body to commune with. Okay. As far as the search for a body, who's leading that? How are you guys going about that search?
Did we think to bring a shovel?
I have a shovel.
You have a shovel?
I have a shovel.
Well, there you go.
In
So
my
has a shovel.
back.
There you go. Part of any good adventuring gear.
Yeah.
It's probably not. I mean, not like a full length shovel, but you know, like a hand shovel, pretty much. But enough that you could do. It's soft ground here. You would need a lot of leverage.
All right. I'm gonna pass over the shovel to Star, and then I'm gonna sort of keep a lookout in case see any more of that water happening.
Okay.
I'm just gonna find a sizable patch of dry land to start digging on, fully expecting just soaked mud the entire way down.
Yeah. Okay. So, Toby, you're keeping an eye out. So, go ahead and make me a perception check. Is anybody helping start dig?
I'm gonna try to. I don't know. I guess I don't know. Do we know how long? Because we're looking for like. I might have totally made this up. We're looking for like the remnants of a battlefield, right?
You're on the remnants of a battlefield.
Like this is
right
like it. Okay.
Yeah. As far as you've been told, this is where the
do we know? Do we know? Anyone know? I guess how long ago that happened? Was that like last week? Was that like 30 years ago? You know what I mean?
The time's a bit weird. As far as how they keep time here, but as far as how it was communicated to you, I mean, this was something that was like thousands of years ago.
I guess I'm just gonna try to like survey. I don't know. I feel like maybe at one point someone tried to teach me something about war and like battlefield tactics. I'm gonna try to think real hard about that.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make another intelligence check. this intelligence as a dump stat is really paying off for Den.
It wasn't a dump stat. It was a character choice.
No.
3.
You're pretty sure somebody at some point taught you about tactics and battlefield tactics.
Yeah.
You were not paying attention.
I just keep an eye out for bodies.
Saddle, you do anything?
Or dig.
You're gonna help start digging. Okay. So the two of you find a sizable patch of ground. I'd say you used enough sort of context clues looking around. You see in the water a little bit away a rusted pole jutting up from the ground, and the just few fragmented remains that have been preserved here in these this environment of what would have been like a tattered banner of some sort that might have been attached to it. And you get enough clues, I think, to think this might be a good spot to dig. And the two of you begin to dig into the ground here as Tova, you're keeping an eye out. Go ahead and make a... Did I have you make the perception check yet for that? Or?
Yes, yeah, I got an 18.
You got 18, okay.
Yeah.
And Den?
25.
I couldn't tell if you were
Sorry,
frozen.
that was my math face.
Really getting into character.
No, that's just real life, kids.
You both keep an eye around. You still see those dancing lights out in the mist, which don't seem to be the fun dancing lights. You keep an eye on them. It doesn't seem to be anything approaching, and you continuously hear the sounds of this battle that seems to be carrying off in the distance. And Star and Saddle, the two of you dig, and you dig, and you dig, and you dig. And you're digging a fair amount. About 3 or 4 feet down, it becomes pretty saturated, and it's a lot of just loose mud. And you begin to sort of have to, you can't really go much deeper because it's just filling in. So you begin to sort of expand and dig different holes in the area and trying to find some remnants here. But I'd say after about 20 or no, that's not enough time to dig holes. After about an hour or so, it's a more fair amount of time to dig up holes. I don't want to go with this. You guys dug a full grave in like 10 minutes. This isn't supernatural. You finally hit something hard. Like me hitting my desk.
We'll get into it.
Just the Foley work for this show is really just like A+.
It has. I've been working on it. I've actually got some sound guys off to the side here with we're ready to do some thunder noises with some sheets. We'll just get ready for that. This has gone off the rails fast. As you hit something hard and seemingly metallic. You begin to clear out the area around the mud in this area, and you grab something, and it's like the gleam of like rusted metal. You pull, and there's a slurping and sucking noise as you're trying to pull it out. Go ahead and make me a strength check.
Natural 20.
I am so glad you rolled good. 4.
Okay, so the two of you grabbing all the different both sides. I think Star, your hands are just slipping off the thing. You're having a hard time. You're just covered in mud. Saddle just grips onto it, and again this energy that you've been feeling in the Twilight Realms and this connection you have with your heritage, or whatever the gods graced this place with to imbue elves with such longevity and power. You tap into that and just rip this what turns out to be a body from the muck, and as he slams up onto the up onto the ground, you see a fully armored, it was once probably a knight of some kind. The armor itself rusted and broken, missing a leg. It looks like got lodged and stayed in the mud. The skin is preserved to some extent from where it was encapsulated. There's this wretched smell that accompanies it as it is broken free of wherever it was being entombed. And it is mostly decayed. The skin itself pulled tight to the face, so you can pretty much see the contours of the skull, and bits of the skull itself kind of peeking through. The eyes and everything else rotted away, but it is a body.
Wow, Sadell.
I was just tired from doing most of the digging.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got yourselves a body.
Well, should I talk to it?
It might be able to give us a lead.
Alright. I can ask 5 questions and I think I've got like 3 or 4, so if you think of anything, let me know. I'm gonna cast Speak with Dead on the dead guy.
So you pull out your
on
materials.
On the dead person.
You pull out your materials to cast the spell. You open up a waterproof canister of the herbs. See, I'm getting fully at work here. The herbs that you need to cast it.
A well-preserved incense.
Yes. As you cast the spell and begin to mutter the ritual prayers and the rites,
just like for context for me, I guess, Den is like, well, does not hide her emotions well. Probably looks very uncomfortable in the casting of the spell.
Is that its connection to undead, or its necromantic origins, or just the heebie-jeebies?
Not so, well, a little bit of heebie-jeebies, because this place is creepy. But, yeah, I think the necromantic aspect of it, she looks very uncomfortable.
Okay.
She looks like she's powering through something she's very uncomfortable with.
All right. So let's say the rest of you probably can recognize this. Might just be Den's reading face, or the fact that she is upset by this, but I think you notice it. As you're casting the spell and you finally finish the ritual, there's a moment, this sort of spark of electricity around your body, and it sort of pushes away a section of this fog, almost creating this dome of mist and fog around all of you, sort of contributing or decreasing the opacity of it. It's even hard to see out. There's just this white sphere that is now encompassing your party. So you're now standing in these around this body. And as you finish the spell, there's this glow to the body itself. And you watch as there's something sort of pulled from it, like strands of energy and this glowing mass. As rising from the body, there is a spectral form of a knight, of an elven man, not wearing his armor anymore, pulled from that. He's wearing kind of tattered garments or to him, and it sells that sort of gaunt look on his face, hollowed eyes. But you see a spirit standing or hovering over the body now, and its head sort of turns, and those vacant eyes sort of surveying all of you. And he says, "Why have you brought me here?"
Greetings and apologies will not keep you from your slumber long. Is there any indication on either Ghosty Man or the body of, like, is there anything left? Any kind of, like, insignia or
Of
any
whose side
sort
he
of
might have been on?
Say what?
Of whose side he might have been on?
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting to? Okay. No, I don't think so. Or at least nothing that you would recognize.
I ask because if not, that's gonna be my first question. Who did you fight for in the war?
He, I fought for no one but myself and my family, and the freedom that I hoped to find for us, for my daughters.
Fair enough. My companions and I are looking for any information about cold forged weapons. Does that sound right? To everyone that is not the undead men. Do you know? No. Stop. Rewind. What do you know about cold forged weapons?
They were the only hope we had of winning. We were given them in hopes of casting down those that had so long reigned over us. I was not aware of how they were made, but holding one in my hands, I felt powerful. My spear was taken from me when I fell, as were the weapons of many others. I know not where they ended up. You seek the secrets of making these yourselves.
I've never had a dead person ask me a question before. Yes.
The spirit turns and continues to sort of survey around, is looking over a landscape that isn't quite there anymore. It says, I don't have much else to give you in that regard. You'd be better off asking one of the smiths who made them.
My third question. Where can we find a smith, or the body of a smith, or the belongings of someone who knows how to make these things?
As I laid here dying, my weapons stripped from me, as I watched them take the lives of my brothers and sisters in arms, we had one of such skill with us to tend to our weapons, to ensure our victory. There were 10 of them in total, with the skills to forge such weapons. I saw them being taken, led to be executed by the Queen herself, not far from here. He sort of extends a spectral finger off in a direction and says, "That way. Upon a ridge. I had passed on before I saw their fate, but that is where they were died. That is where they died."
Got 2 questions left. If there's anything else you want to know, tell me now. Or I think we can let this one rest. My last question. For you, anyway. What was your name?
He smiles, says, "Dunaran. That was my name." If you seek to take up these weapons, to do so against the Queen of Night and her consort, I wish you what fortune I can. She is powerful.
So are we. We will... Thank you. We will bury you proper, so you can rest.
He says, "If you can, do not bury me here. I'd rather burn. Though I would prefer to walk the grounds of the forests once again."
As you wish.
Do you release the spell?
Yep.
He gives a nod, and as he does, the spirit sort of fades and sort of intermingles with the mist. Dissipates.
I know it's odd, but I would very much like to take him with us.
I think that's alright.
Okay. So you guys gonna carry the body with you?
I have my my vestments that I think I've worn like one time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take his bones or whatever sort of left of him, and it's like one of the only holy things I have with me. I want to like wrap him in my vestments, and I guess put him in the bag of holding.
Okay, he's not gonna.
He's not gonna fit. Okay.
No.
I'll just make him a bundle then.
Yeah, I mean you can
And
carry him strong.
I'll
enough.
carry him. Yeah.
No, he's a fully grown adult elf. Is not gonna fit in the bag.
I don't know. I'm still sort of grappling with what fits in the bag of holding, what doesn't. But I'll
yeah, I mean the bag of holding is like, I mean, it's the size of a satchel, like a messenger bag.
Okay.
Like,
I will bundle him up in my vestments, and I will carry him with me.
okay. All right. So you wrap him up the best you can. Throw the body over one shoulder. I assume you take the armor off of it, or you just carry the body. You carry the body and the armor. The armor is mostly in like pieces.
No, we'll leave the armor. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, I'll just take the body.
Okay. So you put the body. Actually, I'm going to say, as you begin to wrap the body up and as you get it ready to go, the fog around you kind of returns and intermingles in the area, and you get a bit more clear view of the surrounding areas. You continue to hear the sounds of this battle off in the distance, and the cries of pain and anguish. And it's around that time, I think, Den, you're pretty distracted at this point. So I think, Star, you probably notice, and Toby, you were keeping an eye out. Two of you see movement. And you both realize, as Den is beginning to wrap up this body, you see two figures approaching at a pretty fast rate of speed in your direction. You see two riders emerging from the surrounding fog over the water themselves, though not seeming to disturb it. Two fully armored knights of rusted black iron or metal armor, riding horses, skeletal and gaunt, carrying lances. You see these two figures riding in opposite directions towards each other and beginning to converge over over where you all are standing, and the horses themselves billowing a noxious kind of dark mist from their nostrils. The riders themselves, you don't see the appearance of faces underneath them, but they look ghostly. They look they clearly look to be dead. And as they are converging upon you, thundering down from the mist, that's where we're going to go ahead and take our break.
Oh, man.
So we'll pick back up to do that when you guys get back. So let's take 10 minutes and come back and see how it turns out. Sounds good? All right. We will be right back in 10 minutes, everyone. Stick around. Welcome back, everyone. I still have a mouthful of Cheez-Its. Nobody asked me if we were going back. Thank you for bearing with us in another tried and true 18-minute, 10-minute break. So let's go ahead and get back into it. So as these two spectral knights come bearing down on all of you, now that we're not in your time, I can say that without laughing. I made y'all roll initiative.
Can you, though?
I know, I laughed anyway.
I'm very impressed by your pun.
Stop. Right now. God, I'm killing it on these initiative rolls today.
And mine's not quite as good this time. I rolled a 19 instead of a 20.
Ugh.
I rolled an 11.
Again.
Oh. What did I get? Did I roll above a 10? Yes, I did. Finally. All right. It was on the tracker.
Just changing mine.
Oh, okay.
It's not letting me change mine.
Get good.
Oh, wait, there we go.
There you go.
All right, we all good? Oh, you don't have Dieter with you. Yeah, why do you keep rolling for Dieter?
It's habit.
I just realized, I was like...
Yeah, no, I know he's not with us. It's just habit. I'm going through the motions of all the buttons I click. And
yeah, that's fair. All right, so, Sado, you're first again.
I'm going to shoot one of them.
Are you now?
Surprise, surprise.
You sound like you absolutely detest your class.
God, I just hate having a simple process as a 15 hit.
Does a 15 hit? No. 15.
I knew that it wasn't going to. I shouldn't have asked.
The 15 streaks and hits the solid armor that is animated and scatters off to the side with the crack of thunder. So that does miss. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
But I was standing still. So
okay, here's what I'll say. So you're not going to move then?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I forgot. So it was actually a 23.
Well, I'm going to have you roll again instead of just going with the 23.
How about a 28?
Yeah, that hits.
All right, cool. 10 piercing and 19 thunder.
Oh, shit. 29 points of damage as the bullet does not miss. In fact, looks like it misses as there's sparks, but there is almost a second delayed explosion of metal out the back of the rider as the shoulder is blown clean open. You can see into the armor, into the empty armor that is riding this form with just this bit of sort of mist inside of the armor, the spectral form mounted on horseback. So that ends your turn, staying there as the riders are charging down on you. Star.
Given all the fog and the mist and everything, would you say we're currently in dim light?
Yes.
Wonderful. I'm casting Shadow Blade.
All right.
And then I will go and attack whichever one is closest. I'll go for the one that's Adel just shot. Why not?
Okay, so you start running like straight head on towards the rider that was charging at you.
Yeah, because that won't go wrong at all.
All right, I'm gonna just go to make your attack roll, and that's gonna interpret sort of how this goes.
Dim light, so Shadow Blade advantage. Ooh, 17 plus 9, 26.
Yeah, that is. Okay, so you go rushing at the this ghost knight, and as he's coming straight at you, you leap, kind of hooking one hand onto the side of the horse's neck, grabbing onto some of the reins. You swing up over onto the back, your shadow blade in the other hand, as you are striking out towards the rider, kind of somersaulting around the neck of the horse. Go to roll damage.
Okay, 4, 10, plus 5 dex is 11. 13, 19, 21, 26, 28 psychic damage.
Almost as much as Sado.
True. You do a severe amount of damage with the psychic blade as you come swinging around. The blade passes through the armor, not doing any physical damage, but you hear the screeching, howling within from the spirit that is occupying the armor. And as you spin around, kind of somersaulting and landing on the ground next to the rider as he comes charging past, moving past you, having too much momentum to turn around at that point, but having dealt a heavy blow to whatever is animating this armor here. Well done. That will put it to Tova's turn.
Okay, so you said both of the riders and the horses are sort of like skeletal?
The horse looks skeletal. The rider is wearing armor, and as far as you can tell, it's armor that seems to be occupied by a spirit.
Cool. I'm gonna take out Longfang.
Okay.
And maybe rush the other one and try to hit the rider.
Hit the rider. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to hit him twice. Just take my both. Okay, so the first one's a 16. Does that hit?
16 does not hit.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, the first one misses, and the second one is another 16.
This has been a lot of really like close misses by Tova today.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So I do that. That doesn't work. I'm gonna spend a key point and take patient defense.
Okay.
That's my bonus action.
All right. So you also go running up and you whip out twice with Longfang towards the rider as they approach.
The other one.
Yeah.
So they were like kind of coming in from two sides.
From two sides, yeah. So you go the opposite direction of the rest of the party. You take Longfang and you whip out twice in quick succession as the rider is approaching you. Both of them glancing off the armor that the rider is wearing and realizing that he's coming straight at you. You quickly take a defensive posture, preparing yourself for this onslaught.
Yep.
Okay. That will put it to the Ghost Knight's turn. They are continuing their ride in towards your group. Tova, one is going to strike down at you with his lance as he is passing. Would have advantage because he is on he's mounted, but you are negating that, so it's going to be a straight roll. Again, I forgot to grab my dice on the break. That is only a 10 to hit.
Nope.
All right. So he is going to continue his charge through. So he's probably gonna get some attacks of opportunity from you guys as he's passing by. I'm gonna have his attacks first, and then we'll deal with the attacks of opportunity. So. He is continuing his charge through, is then going for Den with the lance. This one with advantage. That is a 22 to hit. Huh. Okay, you're muted.
That hits me.
Okay. That is going to be... Let's see. to get some extra damage. All right, so that is 16 points of piercing and 10 necrotic.
Okay,
So-
I'm gonna use my reaction to Wrath of the Storm him.
Okay.
So he makes a dexterity saving throw.
Right. Dexterity save. It's a 20.
Okay, I rolled 2 8s, so
Oh shit! So
16
16.
lightning
So
damage,
8
sweet.
points of lightning damage. Damn.
also I can push him 10 feet, so
You can. I think that probably.
I do that.
dismounts
I
him.
hope it screws him up.
Yeah, and as the lightning strikes out towards him, just this crack of electricity, the horse keeps going. The rider is jettisoned off the horse and slams onto the ground. Say he takes some fall damage from that. That's 3 points of falling damage, bludgeoning damage. And then he is on the ground. He's not going to be able to get in for his third attack against anyone, so he just stands up, armor clanking as the horse is riding off, and then coming to a slow stop, and locks, not really eyes because you don't see any eyes, but just the helm turns towards you, creaking, as it's now fixated on you. Tova, so as he passes, you can make a reactionary attack against it if you want.
All right. That's a lot better. 24.
24. Yes, that does it.
Okay. So it's 10 points.
Okay. And as he's lost focus on that point, it's not as a defensive position, suddenly Long Fang comes out of nowhere and just slams him at the side of the head, dealing damage there. The other rider continues, is going to make an attack at Sadel for shooting at him with advantage. That's a natural 20.
I think that might hit, but let me double check.
Yeah. All right. That's going to be 12, 17, 32 points of piercing damage and 18 points of necrotic damage.
Can you give me those numbers again, please?
32 piercing
Uh-huh.
and 18 necrotic.
Okay.
All right. He is going to continue. He is actually he's going to. He's going to continue past. You don't have anything you do as a reaction since you're ranged. And he is going to keep riding towards Tova. Try to get an attack on you from the other side. This one is just a normal attack. It was almost a natural 20 again. That's a 14 to hit, so I think that misses.
No, it misses.
Okay. And then he is going to wheel around and strike. Actually, no, he's just going to take 2 quick jabs at you because he's missing. So that's the last. He'll use his last attack against you, which is an 8. So that also misses. Wow, that patient defense is killer. So that ends their turns. Den, it is your turn now.
Okay, are they both within 30 feet of me?
Most definitely.
Great. I use my action to do my channel divinity, turn undead.
Okay.
And I'm trying to turn them. Because I don't think I can destroy them.
No,
Challenge rating 2 or lower.
They're higher than that.
Okay. They have to make a wisdom saving throw. A DC 17.
Okay. They do have advantage. But
I don't think so.
it says right here on their sheet.
It's not what I'm seeing.
However, they both still fail.
Ha 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 ha. Okay. They are turned for 1 minute. They spend their turns trying to move as far away from me as they can. They can't willingly move within 30 feet of me. They can't take reactions. For their action, they can only dash or try to escape from an effect that prevents them from moving. If there's nowhere to move, they can dodge.
Okay. So here's my question. You have 6 seconds to inform your party in some way, if you'd like, or you cannot. Because if they take damage, that's going to break the effect on them.
Yeah.
So.
And then I scream, "Don't hit them!" That was my next thing.
Okay.
Does that take 6 seconds?
No, that's plenty of time.
Great. Can I use my bonus action?
Sure.
To healing word Sad Elk's July?
Yeah, because he took a bit of a hit.
I do
Just
a 4th level healing word
All right.
on him, so that is 4d4s, I think.
Farty far.
4d4s.
All right. So I'm going to go and roll that. I kind of move. Are you okay if I move on to the next person's turn while you're doing the math?
He heals 17.
Oh, 17. There you go. All right. So that is Den's turn.
And then, yes, I do scream, "Don't hit him!"
Yes.
You guys
so
know I've got something for this.
As there is this like burst of holy energy out from Den, you see the 2 riders sort of rear up. The one that is off his mount sort of takes a step back. Oh, I didn't roll for the horses. One of the horses succeeds. The other one fails.
Can I tell, like, which ones have succeeded and which ones have failed, or?
Yeah, I'd say you can tell that the rider that is on the horse right now, both of the rider and the horse are upset that the horse that was flying solo does not seem to be affected.
Great. I say, kill that one, leave the rest alone.
Okay. So Sada, it's your turn.
Well, I will shoot the one that I am allowed to.
Okay, so you shoot the horse.
Yeah, I'll just shoot the horse.
All right, go and take a shot.
Jesus Christ. A natural 20. 31.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
16 piercing and 45 thunder.
All right, gonna have to do some quick math here because he has 22 hit points. The horse is obliterated.
Oh my god.
The horse, that's more than double the horse's hit points. The horse is just vaporized by the shot. The bullet hits and sort of streaks through the horse, clattering a bit and breaking some bones, and it just pierces through and looks like it doesn't do anything. And then suddenly there's that like aftershock of the thunder catching up with the bullet and just ripping the horse apart piece by piece, the fragments of bone just scattering out into the swamp as is torn apart from head to stern and just destroyed unequivocally.
Don't tell PETA.
It was already dead. So, all right. So the one of the horses is down. Saddle as your turn.
Down? Is that what you call it? You call it?
Yeah. He might be revived. You never know. Star, what would you like to do?
I'm just doing nothing I guess, because everything else is running away.
Yeah, you're watching them all begin to turn and run. Tova, are you doing anything either?
I can only cast a spell twice a day, damn it. I'm done.
I'm just gonna pull out my short bow and just like watch just in case
Okay,
they decide to turn around and come back.
fair. And you watch on their turns as all the horse, the rider, and horse begin to turn and just flee fast away, carry themselves over the swamp once again. The one that is on foot, seeing the horse gone, just just begins to run, like clanking of metal gauntlet or metal boots against the ground. Just begins to run off in the swamp for the next minute. So,
Wait, no, I still get a turn.
okay, what would you like to do?
On my turn, I yell after them, I am your god now!
All right.
That's it. That's all I do. I use my action to do that.
Well, that pretty much ends that fight, because by the time that stops, they're going to be too far away to even know where you are. So, the end.
I told you guys I had something for this.
Dang.
Undead hate me.
No. Yeah, girl.
I think Sean's mad.
Yeah. So,
I solved your horse puzzle.
you did. At least I got one good shot in. So the
And Sadel made a new horse puzzle.
you can try to piece it back together if you want. Million-piece horse puzzle.
Why do we keep killing horses?
Keep obliterating them into nothing.
Yeah, I guess this is the second horse we've killed in as many games.
Yeah, he was out for revenge.
Don't think it was the same horse.
Oh, but still.
Nah, I meant like for his horse brethren.
Yeah. I'm going to make sure there's at least one horse killed in every episode from now on.
Okay,
Please no.
don't do that.
You already found a horse. I just realized, and also you guys found the horse skeleton by the river. That's 3 dead. That's 4 dead horses now.
Something weird is happening.
What do you got against horses, huh?
What did horses do to you, Sean?
I'm not the one that keeps killing them.
And yes, the trail of bones say otherwise.
Okay.
So we're gonna... Oh, wait, healing. Someone needs healing. It's me.
Saddle's not looking great.
Oh,
I mean,
buddy.
you a lot better after.
Ooh. I do a 3rd level cure wounds. On Sadel.
That
Okay.
sounds lovely.
1, 2, 3. I pick my prettiest dice. Uh, 18 healings.
All right. Okay, another 18 hit points.
Thank you.
All right. So you gather up your body and begin heading the direction that the ghost pointed you in. Okay. So you begin following the path or the direction that that Dularan pointed you, and there isn't really a direct path in that direction, but you begin to follow the snaking river and walkways. As you spend the next about 10 minutes or so trying to navigate your way that direction, you do eventually, through the mist, see there is a ridge, or there is almost a plateau in the center of this swampland that is roughly in the direction that he was pointing you. And you can still see the dancing lights kind of gathering around and in that area and swirling throughout the swamps around you. But you do sort of get a direction. Around that time, though, there is another sort of pulse to the swamp, and you see the two sort of hands begin to emerge from the swamp themselves and strike down at you as you are very quickly trying to cross this path. Need everybody to make dexterity saving throws again.
An 8.
An 8.
No, 19.
All right.
24?
24. Okay, 19, 24. You guys succeed. Quickly darting away from the muck and the mud and the two grasping hands there. However, Sadel recovering from his wounds, Den not being as fast as the rest of you, are pulverized by the two, and they slam down on top. The two of you take.
Oh, no.
16 points of bludgeoning damage. And they both disappear from sight as the two of them are buried underneath the muck and the two hands that now slant down on top of them. The both of you are restrained and cannot breathe.
This doesn't count as water?
No, there's nothing to breathe. You're
Okay.
just like mud on your face.
Okay, do we see about where they went down? Do we get
Yeah, you see the kind of layout of where the two hands hit.
Gonna jump in there and start like filling around in the mud.
Okay. So are the two of you going to start digging for them? Trying to help them out?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Doesn't really want to.
You're already dirty. Just get in here.
All right. So what is the Den? What is your Constitution modifier? 4. Okay. And Sato, what is yours?
2.
2. So it gives you 3 minutes. All right. So I need both of you that are digging to make strength checks.
Wait, I can hold my breath for like 5 minutes.
For Den, the DC to get to her before she starts suffocating is do math here. How much did you say? You said 4. So it's going to be a 10. For Sadel, it's going to be a 12.
Oh no. Okay, you said strength?
Yes.
Okay.
8.
That's a 1.
Okay. Two of them begin to you guys begin to dig to try to get the mud off of them. Den, actually, the two of you can make checks to try to break yourselves free too. I'm gonna forget that. So the two of you can make strength checks to try to break out.
Actually, can I use my human determination to re-roll that?
You guess you can.
Okay. Never used this before, because I always forget about it. Okay, that's better. That is... Dang, that's not enough. 11.
11. Okay, so both of you can make strength checks too. Try to get yourselves out.
Just strength, not athletics.
No, just straight strength.
Okay, 11.
14.
14. Okay, well, her roll was enough to get to you in time, Den, because you are able to hold your breath longer. You feel your legs beginning to burn. You're on that edge there. And just as you're reaching that point where you cannot breathe and you find the world around you beginning to fade to darkness, suddenly something hits you, and you feel a hand kind of grasp on you, being a pull, and your head is pulled out of the mud, and you take a big, gaping breath of fresh air at that time as you are freed from this mud. Sado begins to sort of pull you sort of pull yourself as much as you can and begin to kind of struggle against it just before they are able to get to you. Let me check something. All right, Sado, you're gonna you do hit that point before they're able to get to where you start suffocating. I need you. I'll let you make another check to see if you can break out in that time.
Just strength again?
Yes.
21.
Okay. As you feel yourself begin to suffocate, you feel yourself get to that point where you're not able to, where you're losing consciousness. You feel the earth above you moving as Star is trying to dig down and get to you. And then you summon the strength from within, again, pulling on the energies of the land around you. And Star, as you take a scoop of dirt, suddenly you see a hand just emerge from the dirt underneath you. And Saddle just pulls himself up, just gasping for breath. That was real close.
Yeah.
However, as all of you are pulled out and gathering back up on the ridge again, and just some of you gasping for breath. I mean, all of you pretty much gasping for breath at this point with the amount of exertion that you just had to, you just undertook. You begin to watch as the water kind of beginning to burble again around you, and I assume you all begin to run.
Nope, run.
Run.
Yeah. And you quickly begin to run away as the hands begin to form before they're able to strike out at you again. And as you run, you make it to the edge of this ridge, of this plateau, and you can see you can see like the about 30 feet above you, the top of this ridge, but it does not seem like there's a path or anything to get up onto it. It looks like that was probably once the ground level of this place before it sunk to this marsh. You're probably gonna have to climb up there.
I would like to activate my ring so I can fly.
Yeah, that works too. So one of you can climb, no problem. One of you can walk up walls.
I'll carry Saddle up with me
up
if he wants.
Yeah, I guess it's Saddle. If you want to use your spell slot to walk up, you can. Otherwise, you can be carried by Den.
Yeah, I can just fly for like 2 hours, so.
Yeah, sure. I'll let Den carry
I'll
me.
carry him.
Okay. I realized that this wall wasn't going to be nearly the obstacle as I thought it might in my head. And without much issue, you guys all surmount it and you make it up onto the precipice of this ridge. And it's here that you see a bit of a strange sight. So you can get a pretty good idea of the surrounding landscape extending to every direction around you. And it's eerie. It's just this endless maze of walkways and swamp and hills in every direction. But on this ledge, there's this grass. Looks mostly untouched on this circular plateau spanning about maybe 80 feet across or so. At the center of it, there is a gnarled and dead tree that is mostly kind of broken away, and it's just the little remains of one spindly tree here in the center. And surrounding it, there are 10 standing stones.
Like pretty, like tall ones, or just like little?
Each one is probably about 4 feet tall and about as wide. They're smooth though, unnaturally so, on the outside. And as you look at them, you can see there is like inscription across the stones.
Guys, I know I'm not the smart one, but he said there were 10 smiths, right?
I think we may have found the right place.
Close to one and just sort of like, not too close. I don't want to like touch it or anything. Can I read what the inscription says?
What languages do you speak?
Just common and Orcish. Okay. And thieves can't.
It is not thieves can't. It's not it's not a language that you recognize.
Can't read this.
Can I read it?
Can I read it?
I try to read it.
I think two of you know Sylvan.
I started learning Sylvan. I never actually finished.
That's right.
Despite all that time we spent on the ship.
You never told me you were finishing your lessons, doing all your thief stuff, teaching Tova, never studying. Worst student ever. Well, we should talk about that at some point. How much you learned, because you might have progressed to a point. But for right now, you have somebody in the party that somebody else in the party that can speak Sylvan, so we don't have to get too much into that. Yeah, you can read what is on written or inscribed upon these, and I'll say both of you can make me a Arcana check. Nina.
Oh, am I proficient in Arcana? I hope I am. I am wonderful. That's a 17 then.
All right.
I love being a rogue.
Sato, what'd you get?
1.
Huh?
I don't speak Sylvan.
Oh, I thought you did.
Mm-mm. Common, Elvish, Dwarvish, and Tabaxi.
Who's teaching you Sylvan?
I think I started learning from a book.
Never
got a teacher.
Why did I think that? Okay, that's fine. We'll go with that then. We'll go at some point. You've learned enough at this point. But Sato, you can still make an Arcana check.
Okay, doke. 16.
Okay. So here's what I'm saying is nobody really understands fully what is written upon here. I think you're able to pick out certain words. Star, again, we'll discuss the logistics of it right now, but for enough, I think it suits our purposes. I think both of you are able to notice the inscriptions and the rune work upon here. It appears to be some sort of like sealing or abjuration magic. There's some sort of spell put on here that prevents divination, and it seems mostly to prevent any sort of divining on this spot or these stones. And it seems to seal whatever might be contained within the stones, based on the magic that you're reading. And it is fairly powerful magic, but it seems to be deteriorated, I think, with time. And Star, you get a few words there, and you get the word sealing, and you get a few other bits and pieces that kind of help you determine what this magic is. But you do get a few additional words that are not part of the spells themselves. You get the words traitors, and you do get the word like forgers, the sense of making things, and you do get the impression that someone is likely contained within each one of these stones.
So, I'm certain we found the right stones, and whoever we're looking for, these aren't graves. I think they're inside the stones themselves. They weren't killed and buried, but sealed here.
Well, that's beyond what I can do. So if we can let a spirit out, great, but to do what I did, I need a body.
Disturbing a stone may break the spell. It may also cause everything here to explode. I know there's a seal. I don't know what kind or what defenses it would have.
I could try to break it.
How big is this plateau we're on again?
It's about 80 feet across. So, math. I'm not.
Okay.
That's a long time
Sorry.
ago. A couple 100 feet around. 100, yeah, like 200 feet around. We'll just say that.
Okay.
That feels right.
Well, should we take a step back and you can try taking a swing at it then? I don't...
That's all I've got. Unless you have a better idea.
The only option I have is to try to remove one of the stones from the ground, but we have no idea how deep they really go.
Do you think there are to touch?
I go up and touch the nearest stone.
Okay. You place your hand on the stone. It's a white hot paint. No, you're fine. You touch the stone and it doesn't react.
We can touch them.
I don't feel good about it, but I can try to bust one open, see what comes out.
For now, I think that may be the best option.
Right. Do any of them say, like, I'm the nice one?
As far as Star could tell, no. Didn't seem to speak as to who was contained within each one.
Right. If there are any of them that look... Do any of them look like weathered or anything like that? They're all just smooth?
Yeah, they all look smooth. With the engravings on, they were almost identical.
Okay, I'll just pick one then, I guess. Ah, jeez.
Okay, and
I'm
what do
gonna,
you do?
I'm gonna... Oof.
You're gonna shatter it? You're gonna...
I'm thinking...
Shit.
I'm going to... Thunder Wave. One of them.
Okay. Alright. Go ahead and roll damage. It fails its saving throw.
Because it's a rock.
And is this one that does double damage too?
I think that's just... Well, Shatter, they get, like, disadvantage on the save.
It's thunder damage, so I'm taking that in consideration.
Yeah. It makes a loud noise.
Yeah.
Unsecured objects are pushed 10 feet away.
It's fine.
14.
14 points damage. Okay. So you cast spell, you send out that blast of thunder energy, and it hits the stone, and the stone kind of rocks backwards a bit. You can see the dirt underneath it as the stone kind of gets pushed back and then it rocks back into place. Cracks begin to form up as like a few pieces seem like almost break off. It's in a very rough place at that point with that hit, but it is not entirely destroyed. It might take a little bit more than that. But it's like on the brink. I mean, it looks like an egg that's been dropped that hasn't totally fallen apart.
I just take a swing.
Okay. You take your hammer or your flail and you slam down at it. I say that's enough because you deal with additional thunder damage with your flail. As you hit it, the the metallic silver skulls hit the top of it. Those crack against the stonework, and then there's that additional blast of thunder as you do. The whole thing shatters apart into 100 pieces off to either side. And as the stone breaks apart, you can see embedded within the stone itself the fragments of a skeleton, of a body that was once in here in the stone.
Well, there's your answer.
And as that happens, there's a brief pause, and then from the stone itself, there rises up a spectral form, similar to the one that you saw before of Dularen. You see a woman emerge from the stonework, elven, undetermined age, but she seems to be wearing leather vestments, and you see even her spectral form seems to have the makings of the apron and the facets of a metalworker, of somebody of that profession. And as she rises up, her head rises as well. She looks around. I'm free. She kind of looks down at the ground and sees the remnants of the stone and sees her own body. And she lets out sort of a mournful cry at that happens, and looks at her own hands and recognizes the fact that her form, and you just hear this sort of painful exclamation come from her, and she says, "Curse that bitch." And she looks up at all of you. Who are you?
We're adventurers who aren't native to this land. We come from Sarthia, and we freed you from here because we think you may be able to help us in stopping, as you refer to her, that bitch.
You seek the secrets of the weapons. Yes.
Yes.
I would gladly give them to you. If you promise that you will raise your blades against her. She looks around the clearing and sees the other 9 stones, and she sort of, you hear that sound of pain come from her again. She looks around all of them and says, "My brothers and sisters, can you free them too?"
I just start smashing stones. I just start hitting them.
Okay. So you go around the clearing and just begin to wail on these and just hitting after hitting after hitting after hitting. I'm going to say, I mean, you're able to do it. You're strong enough. You're fierce enough. And I think you're probably enraged enough at this point to do it. I'm going to say you probably take 1 point of exhaustion just from the effort, just the continued effort of trying to do this. So you're just using brute strength. You're not using your any more spells.
Nope, I'm just hitting them.
Yeah, okay. So you take 1 point of exhaustion. And as each one is destroyed, you see another spectral form begin to emerge from one until there are 10 in total surrounding this this clearing. And they all converge in the center. Men and women of different statures and appearances and ages, all sort of gathering in the center, and each one so have this forlorn look to them, and this look of defeat that you see carrying over from when they fell and when their efforts faded as well. And they all look to each other, kind of gathering in the center. And the first one you free, the woman gives a nod. And you watch as the other 9 sort of fade and disperse and vanish. And she remains there. And she turns back towards you and she says, "It is done. I will help you then." She says, "I will give you my knowledge. Do any of you have the ability to wield it?"
Point to Sadell.
Well, yeah, we don't know that. Damn it. Okay. Yeah.
You made Didar and your cannon. If any of us are fit to do this, it's you.
But Sadell, if you don't want to.
No, it's fine. I can do it.
She looks over. She says, "You are of the elves, yes?"
Yes, ma'am.
"You should bear this burden, as we all have. I can guide you. Forgive me. My name is Arnoran."
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Sadell.
All right. She says, "You must leave this place. I can give you the location of the mines and of the forge. And I would lead you there. And there we will fashion once again the weapons to defeat the queens and her minions and any who would seek to oppress us." All right. But first, and there's suddenly this howling noise, this moaning that seems to come from the tree itself. And she turns back towards it. She says, "No, we're not safe here." And she looks to you, Sadell, and she says, "This is probably the only way." And she flies towards Sadell and into him. I guess my question is, Sadell, are you going to try to resist, or are you going to let this happen?
She said it's the only way, so I guess I won't resist.
Okay. She flies into you, and you feel this chill and this shock of energy that starts to run up your body. Otherwise, nothing seems to change. You feel fine. You have control of yourself. And then you hear a voice in the back of your head, and she says, "I'm sorry, but this is the only way I can travel with you. And something dangerous is coming."
Well, weirder things have happened.
And as you say that, there is that noise again. This as a face emerges from the tree. You see a ghastly face of an elven woman, veins running up the sides of her head and back towards her ears, pure white hair seeming to curl and contort almost as if underwater, just sort of cascading out to both sides. Her eyes burning with this malevolence to them. her hands extending outwards with these claws kind of extended out from them. And as she looks out towards all of you, just sort of floating there, the no legs, just ending at a dress that seems to billow with an unfelt breeze. And she looks out towards in all of your direction, and then lets out a terrifying scream. And I need everyone except Sadil to make a Constitution saving throw.
$15.
Okay.
That's a 1 for me. So 3 total.
6.
All right. As both Tova and Den fall to the ground, 0 hit points. And Star, you take 20 points of psychic damage. And I'm going to need everyone to roll initiative.
This time I managed to roll an 18 on my initiative.
I got a 20.
Not change.
I got an 8.
All right. Oh, I need to put her on the map. She rolls a 22. So that will put it with Star going first.
Shadow Blade charge.
All right.
I can't heal you guys.
Oh, I forgot to make one for Gil. See, actually, okay, here's what I'll say. All right, I'll say he's in your, yeah, all right, that's fine. I won't make Gil a little bit roll then because that'll just be mean. All right, so Star, you go charging at her. All right, what do you do?
Casting Shadow Blade and attacking.
All right, go ahead and make your attack. It is still dim light, so you still advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yes, nat 20.
Oh, shit. All right.
Okay, time for all the math again, folks. 8. 13. Oh, 21. 23 plus dex, that's 28. Now 12d6. So 28, 30, 32, 34, 35, 38, 44, 50, 56, 54, 55, and that brings it up to 60.
60. All right. That is a hefty attack. Yeah, so make sure. So 65 or 60 points of psychic damage as you strike out towards her, and she doesn't seem to flinch as the blade is coming towards her, not really sort of expecting it to be able to make any impact, and then it strikes straight into the spectral form as if it was real. And as the blade sinks in just about her abdomen, she looks down and just howls again in pain, screeching, not having the same impact against you this time, but definitely horrifying to behold. All right, anything else?
That is my turn.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be her turn then. All right.
Bring it.
So
I'm gonna regret saying that.
She's gonna reach out to make her first strike against you. That is a 21 to hit.
Just hits.
All right, and then I'll go to make her second attack because I don't think that first one's gonna be enough to. It's 22 to hit.
Hits.
All right, first one, 29 points of necrotic damage.
Uncanny dodge.
All right, so you reduce that to 14.
So I'm at...
Second one was 26 points of necrotic damage.
So I can't uncanny dodge that. That puts me down to 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, and then she is going to, as she strikes out, you tries kind of hissing as she does. She lets out another cry, not the same as she was before, but just sort of like this, her form expanding, darkening, her face contorting. I need you to make you and Saddle, or no, Saddle, you don't, because you're possessed. Make a wisdom saving throw. Star?
16 plus whatever my numbers are.
You're good. Yeah. You are not frightened, and you're immune to the effect from this point for the next 24 hours. So you are good.
This is the most stressful math of my life.
All right. Saddle, is your turn.
I guess I can cast Cure Wounds on Den. She's like right next to me.
You can. You definitely do that.
I'll do that. I'll cast Cure Wounds.
All
Wake
right.
up, please.
Go to roll that sweet, sweet healing.
You get 9 health.
Okay.
And then I guess as a bonus action, I'm going to throw out my shield.
All right. Bonus action, shield goes in the head, and you hear the voice of Honoran in your head. She says, "I can protect you from inside here, from against the worst of it, but you should stay far away from that creature."
I will back up. I will back up.
That will end Sadel's turn. Tova, is your turn. I need you to make a death saving throw.
Okay. That's a natural 20.
Holy shit. All right. You come back to consciousness at 1 hit point.
At 1?
Yes, you do. That is the end of your turn, but you are on the ground, looking around, alive, conscious.
Oh man,
That's clutch as hell. All right. Den, it is your turn. As you also have come to consciousness, Sadel has healed you. You look around, you see Tova on the ground, eyes open, just like gasping for breath. You see Star as 2 ghostly claws just pass through him, and he lets out a scream of pain at that point, looking in dire straits. And Sadel is sort of backing away from the creature with his gun out after having casting the spell on you.
A long time ago, it was about 3 hours ago, I made a choice about which new spell to prepare. And I changed my mind at the last minute before we started. Can I get to Tova?
Yes.
I used my 6th level spell and I cast Heal on her.
Okay.
You heal 70 hit points. Oh. And also, if you're blind, deaf, or diseased, that's healed, but I don't think you have that.
No, but that's 70 hit points more.
You healed 70.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
And I just look up at her. And I just say, protect them.
All right.
That's all I got.
That'll put it to Star's turn then.
Bonus action to disengage.
Sure. You sure? Are you positive? You don't want to stay there?
Yeah, I want to back up to sort of the same distance everyone else is at.
All right.
Then throwing my shadow blade at her.
Yeah. You hurl it at her. Go to make your attack.
19.
19. We'll hit. Yeah. I had to look.
4. 12, 17, then 23, 29, 34, 36, that shouldn't have been hard, 40, 43.
43 points of damage. That's a heavy strike against her. As you hurl the blade again, it stabs into her, this dark shadow blade, and you see that same darkness sort of overwhelm her at the moment. The pure white form going gray and rotted as she lets out another screech of pain, grasping down towards the blade and trying to pull it out of her. Yeah, that's a lot of damage against her.
I have now done over 100 damage to her.
Yeah. Anything else?
That's my turn.
Okay. Let's put it to her turn now. Boy, is she not a fan of you. How far away? I guess no, she can get you pretty much anywhere. She's got 40 feet of movement. Okay, what's she gonna do? She is going to fly straight towards you, and she reaches out like she is going to she's going to claw at you again, but instead she just flies straight like towards your chest. I need you to make a charisma saving throw. Buddy, this ain't your normal banshee.
This ain't
thank God for that. 19.
19. You fly into her, or she flies into you, and you feel this dread, this darkness begin to fill you, and you feel as your hands begin to move on their own for a second. You look down, you see that dark black from before, from the Death Knight, and you see that hand begin to just kind of wriggle on its own, but at that same time, you, with a force of will, go to push her out, and you see the holy symbols on the back of your Infinity Gauntlet light up, and this power, this divine energy courses through you and forces her out from you, and she's repelled backwards. And as she does, she goes and lets out another just painful scream as she is rebuked by your force of will. But that's all she can do this turn. Okay, Sato.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Shoot it.
29.
29 hits.
9 piercing, 18 thunder. And I'm
Okay.
gonna do that extra D10
All right.
with one more damage with that.
Nice. The bullet magically enchanted hits seems to do physical impact, physical damage to her. The thunder explodes and causes her form to reverberate a bit. Not seem to do as much damage. She seems to have resistance to thunder damage.
Oops.
So,
And,
but you are aware of that now.
yeah, bonus action to reload and back up even more.
Okay. Tova, you got energy. You feel
Oh my
good, I think.
gosh, yeah. I'm going to return the favor, and I'm going to Healing Hands Den for 80 points of healing.
Oh,
That's how
crap.
she one-up me.
Yeah. Girl, I see your healing.
Just kidding, thank you, I love you.
I mean, I can only do it once, so there you go.
Star coughs up a bit of blood.
You'll be fine, buddy. Okay, and so Banshee thing is like engaged with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there, over by Star, and I'm going to spend a key point so I can flurry of blows, so I can Healing Hands him. I've only got 10 left, but you get 10. And I know it's not that much.
All right.
It
Go to
might be enough.
Yeah, go to make your attacks against the. Oh no. So you're just using your healing. Okay, so you don't actually get the attacks. You just get.
Yeah.
Okay. So action to heal, running over. You just sort of
Actually, yeah.
start on the shoulder, and it heals him too.
Crunch.
You would have gained 11, but you took 1 point of bludgeoning. But you gained some hit points back. That's good. I just liked this idea of Star just getting wailed on by this banshee, and all you in the back just like healing each other. But all right, so that'll put it to Den's turn.
Okay, is anyone right next to the scary lady?
Yeah, both Star and Tova are.
Great, that sounds like the perfect storm. I would like to use my action to cast Call Lightning at 5th level.
Shit.
And I would like to bring down a bolt of lightning just right in the middle of everybody. I'm probably right up in there too. Somewhere. I usually am. And I would like to use my... I have so many abilities. Storm's Grace. So I'm gonna hit her with lightning, and I'm going to heal all of my allies that are in the area as well.
Okay.
But I have to see how many that is, because I don't read my spells ahead of time. It's like it's so many. It's 5d10. There we go.
Okay.
So she makes a
Dexterity saving throw?
dexterity saving throw. And everyone else is going to heal so many.
I think she fails.
Except Sadell, sorry, because you ran away. Oh, jeez. That is 30
All right.
healing
So,
to me and Tova and Star, and lightning damage to Tree Lady.
all right. So she fails, so she takes full damage. However, it does not seem like she takes as much damage.
I'm also going to push her back 10 feet.
Okay. She seems to be resistant to the lightning damage as well. But you push, she kind of hovers backwards to 10 feet away, now not in immediate melee with anybody in the group. All right. Star, it's your turn.
Okay, I don't like the idea of getting too close to her again right now. I think that might be bad.
All right.
So I'm gonna just throw my shadow blade again.
All right. You can use a bonus action to like recall.
Yeah, I can just do
Okay.
it back and
Cool. Go ahead and throw that dagger, that shadow blade.
28,
That hits.
6, 8, so 13. 14, 16, 19, 22, 34.
All right. 34 points damage. As the blade sinks in her again, she lets out another screech as this happens. All right. And then are you moving somewhere?
I still don't like the idea of getting too close. I'm backing up closer to Sadell.
All right. So that's going to bring it to her turn. All right. Well, so you pretty much have Sadell and Star with Tova and Den directly between the Banshee. Yeah, she's going to fly. I don't know if I want to be that much of a dick. I would just fly straight over the two of you and towards the squishies in the back. But no, she's gonna fly at you. I don't think she's at the point where she's scared of you guys right now. So she's going to fly at Den and Tova, and she's going to take a strike at each of you. Tova, that is a 20 to hit.
Yep. Ouch.
Den, that is a 19.
That misses.
All right. Tova, you take 22 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And she got her possession back, which I forgot she can use as part of her normal attacks. I will remember that next time. Yeah, I think she is going to try to fly into Tova. Tova, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Okay. 13.
That is not enough.
No.
As the Banshee then flies after she strikes towards Tova, and Tova's sort of off balance, she then whoosh, flies straight into Tova and is not repelled. Once again, you see the Banshee disappear, and you see this darkness overtake Tova's form. Her flesh turns a little more gray. Her eyes kind of glowing at this faint bluish white color as she then turns towards you, Den. And that's going to put it to Sadell's turn.
I'm going to use my action to cast haste on Star.
Okay.
And then are healing potions bonus action? Or are they action?
So are you taking one yourself?
Yeah, if I
I'll let you do it as a bonus, yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna use that greater healing potion I got.
Sure, go for it.
How many is it?
For greater
44
bonus,
plus 4.
44. Yeah, that's right.
40 is 44 plus 4.
Thank you.
Cool, thank you.
All right. So that'll put it to Tova's turn, which you can't move. You're kind of locked in the state of awareness as you can see out of your own eyes, and you can see everyone around like staring at you with look of fear on their faces, and you can feel this dark presence in your mind, but you cannot move your body. It's like watching everything through a window, and you hear this voice inside of your head sort of thinking to you, and says, I'll kill them all. That's all you can. That's pretty much it for your turn. So I'm not going to let her go on your turn and her turn. That would be nuts. What would you like to do?
Did I see the scary lady fly into Tova?
You did.
Okay. I don't know what to do. I'm going to try to turn undead again.
All right.
I know she's right next to me. So if she's undead, she makes a
Wisdom saving throw.
Saving throw. Yes, it's wisdom. Sorry. I was trying to find it.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay. There is that flash of energy that extends out from you, and you see this look on Tova's face, and it turns into this kind of sinister sneer that she had, turns to an expression of fear, as the creature begins to sort of, or Tova is sort of looking like she is backing away from you. All right. But right now, no immediate effect on Tova's on your turn, except for that.
Okay. That's my action. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. All right. Star?
For now, I'm just gonna move so I'm right next to Tova and just end my turn there.
All right. Holding anything? Or just staying?
Can I hold an action to attack if she attacks? If
You can hold it. You're holding an action to
if evil Tova attacks, I attack back.
Okay. To wait there. Okay. So prepare yourself. You're seeing her begin to back up. Then brings it to the Banshee's turn. At which point, you see the shimmering as the Banshee is suddenly rips itself out of Tova and begins to flee. And just begins to fly away. Using her full 40 feet of movement. Is anybody attacking her as the Banshee is flying? Yes, you are. You guys are.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, you and Star could take one if you wanted to.
Yeah, it's a reaction. She's out of Tova. I want her dead. I cannot have her going back to her boss.
Okay.
I'm not too many times here.
All right.
Yes, I also hit her.
All right.
So glad I have advantage.
Natural 20!
Yeah, same.
All right. Go ahead and yeah. Oh, no.
1.
And you do have an ally within 5 feet of her. So.
Shadow Blade, so I had advantage on the attack roll.
Oh, that's right.
17.
32 damage.
I'll be there in a second.
That's okay, that's why I went first.
64 points of psychic damage.
And I did
60.
32, so...
So, oh, was that 32 not doubled? Or was the 32 doubled?
No, yeah, that's my total was 32.
Okay. And then 60...
64.
96 total.
Okay.
Between the two of us.
All right.
Math.
So she's still up, but is not looking good here. As she flies back or begins to fly away, you both strike her with your weapons at the same time. Her form almost seems to dissipate and tear apart at that moment, and then just barely fastens itself back together. She turns back around on all of you and lets out another like hideous shriek as she just with the rest of her movement is going to come down because the fear effect ends at that point, and she's going to make a strike against both of you because she's just in a fury right now. Let's see. Nope. That one will hit. So, Dan, that is a 23.
Yeah, that hits me.
Okay. 27 points of necrotic damage.
Cool. That's not a bitch. I'm at full health.
Not have her possession back, but is going to use her horrifying visage to let out another shriek. And you all have to make wisdom saving throws, except for Sadel and Star, because you're immune to it now.
Wisdom save?
Yes.
Okay, that's a 9.
26.
All right, so you succeed, then Tova, rightfully so. I think you're fearful at this point. You're full of fear as to what just happened.
Sounds about right.
Okay, and that ends her turn. Sadel, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna shoot her.
Go for it.
29.
29 hits.
15 piercing, 16 thunder.
All right, how do you kill her?
Oh, yes! Headshot, obviously.
Okay. You take aim with the rifle, kind of letting out a deep breath and pulling the trigger. The bullet hits the center of her forehead. That trail of thunder energy kind of billowing through her at the same time. The form, the spectral form, kind of pulling apart, trying to pull itself together over and over again, as there's still this hole in the spectral forehead. And then finally, with the one last shriek, her body just disintegrates and just vaporizes into pieces. And she is dead.
I hate this place.
Me too.
So back to the cart and somewhere not here.
Someone
Yes,
not here.
Somewhere very far from here.
Is everyone all right?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, since we went unconscious, do we have to do that Constitution saving throw?
For injury points.
Okay.
Yeah, just go ahead and do the Constitution save.
Okay.
If you fail, I'm probably not going to do the D8. I'm probably just going to have it be the mental one, because
I rolled a 15.
you're fine.
I rolled a 1.
Ooh. Neither of you have injury points, right?
No.
Okay. You both have received magical healing at this point. So even if you had some sort of effect, it would be gone by now. I need to get better about remember to do that in the moment. But yeah, you're fine. You both have one injury point right now, though, which is I think the important one.
Okay. Go away, I succeeded. You get one anyway?
Well, I'm trying to remember. Is it? I'm trying to remember if it's half your level rolled up, or if it rounded up, or if it's half the level. Yeah, rounded up. So you guys are at. It'd be a DC 16.
Oh no.
Yeah. So you guys are level 11.
Okay.
You guys are fighting harder things. So that's gonna be 1 point to each of you. But the Banshee is gone, and quiet sort of overtakes the plateau at this time. And I think in that moment, Arnaran, you hear her voice as she sort of pulls out of Sadel and standing next to him, surveys the area. Perhaps you can do this. We should go, though. Where are we going next? Do you have the materials you need?
Well, our next stop was going to be Lion's Den, as we've heard that's where the mines are.
Yes. We'll travel there. I'll help you to gather the materials. I know the proper techniques. I know where to find the veins. I don't know what's changed since the time that I was in prison, though.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Is there, I don't know, forest between here and there?
I believe so.
I've got one more thing to do before we move on.
Of course. I'm not in any rush. She looks back towards Zadel and just kind of gives a look like, are you okay with this travel arrangement?
Yeah, I think I can deal with it.
Right, so she gives a nod and just sort of fades back into Zadel's form. All right. So you all gather yourselves, and you will kind of fast track leaving the marshes. You know what to expect. You gather the body of Dularan and make your way back to the wagon, avoiding some other kind of pitfalls on the way and avoiding any more of the hands coming from the marsh. Eventually returning to the wagon. And I think we'll end with the scene, if you wish, of at the edge of these woods, finding a place kind of deeper within to dig the grave and to put Dularan to rest. And that's where we'll go ahead and end tonight's session on that cheery note.
Yeah.
So apparently really clutch dice rolls are my specialty.
Yeah, I'd say so.
There were a lot of nat 20s tonight.
You guys had
so
some...
many.
I thought that was going to be a TPK there for a second.
Well, that one initiative, we rolled 4 of them.
Yeah.
That was real close to a TPK.
That was very stressful.
Lucky you guys got some good burst healing there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it was like in the moment, I was like, logically, Den would be closer to me, but also, I know she picked up that heal spell, so I was like, if I can get her, I knew if I can get her up, we'll be fine.
You know.
Yeah, I was worried about the Banshee going straight for Sadel, so I was like, I should go do a thing. I hope I don't die.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm Italian now, so.
It's all good.
Totally.
Ranger.
All right. Well, I guess that's a good enough place to end it as any. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you to my players for surviving. So we get to come back and play this again next week. Just a couple of quick announcements before we log off for the evening. One, I think we'll be playing some video games here in a second. Gonna join us for some 7 Days to Die, where we die a lot every day. But we will be doing that again shortly. Just keep an eye out. Just hang out here in the chat until that starts, which hopefully will be soon. We also have Apocrypha this week on Monday, and Tidefall on Thursday, and then Wildspace the following Monday, with Survivors Complex again in between. Keep an eye out for our giveaway. We are still in the midst of that. We are currently giving away a copy of Mordenkind's Tome of Foes, as well as some GGK stickers. If we happen to hit 200 followers on Twitch before the 21st, we'll also be giving away some dice as well. And if by some means we're able to hit any of our other goals, we have some other things that we're going to be giving away too. But all the details of that are on our Twitter page, so you can check them all out there. I think that's it. Right? You guys are just going to dance for the next 14 minutes. So
we have a tipping page that we haven't mentioned.
Yeah.
In several weeks.
If you like what you're seeing and you want to tip us and give us some donations so we can keep this all going, feel free. We more than appreciate it. But I guess we'll go ahead and end that there then. Yeah, it feels like a good place to end it. So thank you everyone for watching. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night,
Good
Internet.
night, Internet.